Live breaking news, everybody. The Supreme Court has just upheld the ban of one of the most popular, if not the most popular social media app with billions of users, TikTok. I have got for you the entire breakdown. What does this ruling mean? What's going to happen next? Is TikTok actually going to be dark on January 19th, completely banned? I've got everything for you. I broke it all down in my trusty outlines. Let's go to the outline right now. Okay, so here we go. This is TikTok versus the U.S. government, Supreme Court ruling on national security and First Amendment concerns. The overview of the case: the Supreme Court ruled on TikTok's challenge to the Protecting Americans from Adversary-Controlled Applications Act. The law effective January 19th, which is literally, if you're watching this today, I'm recording this right now today on the 17th, that is coming up this Sunday, requires TikTok to sever its ties with its Chinese parent company ByteDance or face restrictions or a potential ban in the U.S. TikTok, along with some U.S. users and creators, argued the law violated First Amendment rights to free speech. Here are some of the key points from the court's ruling. First Amendment and free speech concerns. So TikTok argued that the law, by threatening to ban the platform unless ByteDance divests control, violated free speech protections. The court acknowledged the law's potential impact on free expression, especially considering TikTok's large user base, 170 million people. By the way, if you think that TikTok is just a bunch of, kids on there and Gen Z or whatever dancing around, you're completely mistaken. There's a lot of people who literally run their entire business. It is their number one marketing distribution channel. President Trump himself is a big fan of TikTok. When he went on TikTok, he accrued more followings, which is not a surprise, of Kamala, Obama, and Joe Biden in less than 24 hours. And his videos have got hundreds of millions of views. So it's a great way to advocate for yourself, a great way to advocate for your business, a great way to display and show your cause, your beliefs, your ideologies, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not just a bunch of dancing that's happening. I'm not defending TikTok. I'm not defending their appeal. I'm just simply giving you the information, the intel. So 170 million people, that's a lot. The court did not directly regulate speech, but focused on the national security concerns arising from foreign control of the platform. So here we go, the national security concerns. The government argued that TikTok's vast data collection could be used by China for espionage or surveillance. This was the primary justification of the law. TikTok collects a wide range of personal data, including location, contact lists, browsing habits, as well as other sensitive information. And so the court agreed that the government had a compelling interest in protecting U.S. citizens' data from foreign adversaries. Content neutrality of the law. So the law is considered content neutral because it does not regulate the speech or content shared on TikTok, but instead targets the foreign control of the platform. So this is a big distinction that everybody needs to understand. It's not that the content itself is the problem. It's the ownership issue. The ownership issue of a communist-run regime, that is the big problem here. So this distinction allows the law to be subject to an intermediate scrutiny, which means it must serve an important government interest and not unduly burden free speech. The court ruled that the law's focus on data protection rather than content control justified its implementation. So the outcome of the ruling is this. Here's the biggie right here. And this is what's causing a big uproar. And I'm going to tell you what happens next in just a second. The Supreme Court upheld the law, ruling, this is today, January 17th, 2025, that it does not violate First Amendment rights. It emphasizes the national security concerns regarding TikTok's data collection and its foreign connections. The law now mandates that ByteDance divest its control of TikTok's U.S. operations if it wants to continue operating in the country. So just that we're clear, it's not that TikTok has an opportunity here. I've talked about this on many previous videos that Kevin O'Leary, a huge investment business guy, and he's a celebrity kind of on Shark Tank, etc. I actually like Kevin a lot. I think he's very smart. He came out, viscerally, against the cases against Trump, the lawfare, how it killed the brand of America, as well as Newscomb and others. He's in talks to perhaps accrue with other investors TikTok and essentially supplant its control under U.S. Control. But I don't know if those deals have gone through or not. I'm also going to stick around. I'm going to share with you Trump's response as well as other notable figures. But here's what happens next. So what happens next, Nez? What do we do now? The law will come into effect on January 19th, 2025, but TikTok is not automatically banned. Well, that doesn't make sense. What does that mean? TikTok must sever ties with ByteDance or face penalties. However, the company can seek, this is the important part right here. Let me highlight this. The company can seek a temporary suspension of the law's enforcement while it appeals further. So a lot of people don't understand. You see these big hot headlines, TikTok is banned, it's banned. Oh my God, what am I going to do? What does this mean? Yay, hurrah, or yay, or terrible, boo, boo, boo. There's a lot of legalese, there's a lot of nomenclature, there's a lot of red tape, there's a lot of bureaucratic obstacles that need to be hurdled before any of this takes place. And so the next point here, if TikTok requests a stay and the court grants it, TikTok could continue operating as usual while the appeal process moves forward. The court will consider whether TikTok has a strong enough case to delay the law's implementation. If TikTok does not get a stay, however, so they could get a stay, but if they don't, so it depends on a couple of things, and I'm going to talk about that next. But if they don't get a stay, the law will take effect, and TikTok could be banned or severely restricted unless it complies with divestiture requirements. Okay, so that's really, really important. And then here we have, can TikTok be banned pending an appeal? Yes, TikTok could potentially be banned or restricted while it appeals, depending on the court's decision regarding the enforcement of the law during the appeal process. So remember, just like we've been covering in the Letitia Big Shame James, Fannie Cash Money G. Willis, all the lawfare, we've been covering these cases ad infinitum. Anything can happen based on courts, based on jurisdictions, based on the judge's mood that day. I mean, based on interpretation, argumentation. Nez, what do you mean by judge's mood? Yes, that has a factor. I know it sounds crazy, but that's why you see really prominent, powerful, effective, impactful lawyers like the GOAT, Steve the Pitbull Sadow. They appeal to the lawyer's sensibilities, to the lawyer's temperament, to get on their good side. It is always a smart move to get on the good side of the judge, irregardless of the law being implemented. Yes, the judges, yes, the courts, especially in these high-profile cases, they need to follow the law by the book, and all of their argumentation, all their rulings are based on case law and precedents, but it is always a good business move to be on the good side of the judge because they do have the power to enforce a specific ruling or specific subset of laws pertaining to the higher law or the law in question based on a lot of intangible factors. TikTok can request an injunction or stay to delay the law's implementation while they continue legal proceedings, but this depends on the court's judgment. You see what I'm talking about? So the reason this law was upheld, the court ruled that the law serves a legitimate, compelling interest protecting U.S. citizens' personal data from a foreign adversary, which justifies the law's impact on TikTok operations. The law was deemed narrowly tailored to meet national security concerns, balancing free speech with security needs. While TikTok is a major platform, the court essentially sided with the government, allowing the law to take place. TikTok will either have to sever its ties with ByteDance, CCP-owned entity, or face possible restrictions. The company will likely pursue an appeal, but whether TikTok can continue, in summation, to operate without a ban depends on the ongoing legal process and potential stays granted by the court. So what did Trump say? So this is what Trump said. Trump said the Supreme Court decision, again, this is posted literally just an hour ago on his social media app, Truth Social. By the way, follow me on X, follow me on Truth Social. I'm Professor Nez everywhere. I post 100,000 times a day. I do this 24/8. I work tirelessly. I bleed sweat and tears literally every single day for you guys. So tap that thumbs up if you're appreciating this. I would really, that's all I ask. Watch all the videos, tap the thumbs up, and share them. That's all I ask. I'm not asking for anything else. And those are all free. The Supreme Court decision was expected, Trump says, and everyone must respect it. My decision on TikTok will be made in the not too distant future, but I must have time to review the situation. Stay tuned. Thomas Massey says, when TikTok goes dark, please remember I voted. I like Senator Massey from Kentucky, even though I thought his vote against Johnson was not a smart move, and it just delayed the inevitable. I do like that he seems to be one of the few people in Congress that has values and principles and an ethos that he stands by. When TikTok goes dark, please remember I voted against the so-called TikTok ban because the legislation was overly broad and sets a dangerous precedent for censorship. I've always leaned on the side of less government interference. Let the market decide. The market is the market. Let the people decide, because the people essentially are symbolic of the market. And so free market, free enterprise, I've always been like that. I've always been for allowing the people to decide their fate. And government is really there to just make sure everything goes smoothly and nothing gets too crazy out of line or out of bounds. But this is a specifically different, distinct case because we've got a company that wields severe influence over America and Americans, and that's owned and resides in a country that is highly adversarial, not only to our way of life, not only to us as a nation, but our ideologies and philosophies on pretty much everything. And never mind the fact that, the Chinese spy balloon, these drones. What happened to the drones, by the way? Do you guys know what happened to the drones? Do you guys remember the drones? I did a lot of videos on this. A lot of people were talking, it's the same thing. It's China, it's China, it's China. We had that expert on. What happened to the drones all of a sudden? Very strange, very bizarre. But this is a different situation. If we weren't dealing with a communistic regime having control over this company, I would say this is a very, very bad move. But I trust my president, and the CEO of TikTok is expected to attend the inauguration, which, by the way, we're going live for the entire inauguration. Make sure you subscribe, sign up for our free newsletter. It's free. Just give us your best email in the pinned comment, show notes, and description. Click on that link, give us your best email so you never miss out. Let's make common sense go viral. I trust my president. The CEO of TikTok is attending the inauguration. I truly believe Trump's going to work out just like he did. He brokered a ceasefire in Gaza, just like he did in so many instances. There's already talks, Putin speaking with him about ending the war in Ukraine, getting our money back. Zelensky's scared beepless, which makes me very happy. I trust my president. This is who we voted for. This is the mandate on November 5th. So I know he's going to come up with a beautiful deal, and he's going to make everything work out. I don't think TikTok is going to be banned, but I do think Trump's going to put some serious stipulations and requirements. And I do think an American investor, American company, etc., is going to have to do, if not take total control, have some kind of oversight or a larger stake in the company than the Chinese Communist Party. But I'd love to get your thoughts on this. Let me know what you think. If you're a TikToker, a business, a creator, an influencer, I would really love to hear from you as well. Let me know what your thoughts on this are. Do you think this is justified, not justified? I can't wait to read your comments. Don't forget to check out these videos coming up on the screen right here. If you missed these videos, we posted these recently. I think a lot of you guys missed them. Tap my face right there to subscribe and follow. And as always, stay tuned, and may God bless you and God bless the USA. I'll see you soon.